Hey guys, happy 5.5 anniversary of Arknights. With it around the corner we will of course get the new banner with 2 6 stars and 24 pulls for free. You are probably wondering if you should pull for the units on the banner, and I'm here to give you the details about their skills, quirks, and at the end an honest opinion if they are a priority, a skip or a waifu pull. So without further ado, let's get into this. Starting with the limited unit, we have Yu. He is a primal protector defender. This makes him our first 6-star out of this subclass, and as his name suggests, he has capabilities of using elemental damage as well as inflict arts damage. This class is pretty versatile and serves as a attacking unit and a defending one. Although they might be a bit mediocre at attacking because of their average attack, but his versatility will probably make him a worthwhile unit. Now let's move to his passive talents. First on the plate, no pun intended, we have You Feed Me, I Feed You. That gives him 25% sanctuary effect when blocking enemies. Accordingly, decrease arts and physical damage taken, and the blocked enemies will take 40% of his attack as above arts and burn damage every second. Not gonna lie, this passive is pretty overpowered for both defense and attack, and the only weakness for him is probably true damage, but then again, I think like maximum of 4 enemies even deal true damage. So he is pretty chill with dealing with most enemies in the game. The second skill, which makes him recover 1.5% of his max HP every second, as well as elemental damage as long as there is at least 4 operators on the field. This is a pretty good skill. It makes him probably capable of solo lane holding if there is no bigger enemies incoming, and combines well with his first skill to make him more tanky. Just remember to deploy those 4 operators as fast as possible, otherwise this talent won't proc. Now let's get to the meat and bones of his cooking, the skills. His first skill makes him taunt enemies passively when activated, increases max HP and defense, and every time he is attacked he will reflect the hit to the enemy as burn damage. What can I say, this is pretty general. If you want him to be the perfect defender, then this is your skill to mastery 3, but if you wanna use him more offensively, then I wouldn't recommend leveling it, since his other 2 skills are just better for that. His second skill will immediately deal arts damage and teleport all surrounding ground enemies within his reach, as well as increase his block count, max HP and attack by a far margin, and make him deal arts damage. This is a pretty interesting skill, and it will probably be used for some stalling strategies. Shoes skill 3 may be better for this, but hey, if you don't have her, then this can serve as an alternative, and it makes him also pretty good for damage to low res enemies. But let's now get to the main course. Skill 3, a massive increase to max HP, attack and defense, applies the effect of his regeneration to all operators on the field and creates a firewall through the entire battlefield. That wall will deal burn damage based on his attack, and the enemy projectiles that go through the wall will have a small chance of being removed, and also the enemies who pass through it will get some burn damage as well as arts damage taken. Now this is his Grand Overture, a skill that heals allies, buffs them with an elemental damage, and can nullify a Patriot Spear when he throws it, although with a small chance. This is a skill worth the masteries without a doubt, and although the removal of enemy projectiles chance is very low, I can imagine it will come clutch in a few scenarios. So yeah, if you want him to be a bit of a support with tanking capabilities, then go with this skill. And the final verdict is that he is kinda a priority unit, especially if you are lacking any good tanks in your squad. His skills also involve some support, which make him a versatile pick. On top of that, he deals elemental damage, so what's not to like about his kit? The only minus is that his defense may be a bit low outside of his skills, but then again, he has his sanctuary effect, which will make him stand up right for a long time. Let's now get our eyes on the second character, which will go into the standard character pool once the banner ends. Blaze, the Igniting Spark. She is your primary caster, which means she deals arts and elemental damage, so pretty standard stuff, aside from the elemental damage. Now let's get to her passive talents. First we have Meltdown, which lets her deal elemental damage based on her attack when the enemy triggers a burn damage burst, as well as recover some of her HP percentage. I don't know why the HP restore, but okay, I guess this seems solid enough of a skill. When she gets defeated, instead of retreating, she will stay on the battlefield and gain 6000 points of barrier. She cannot be healed or attack, but will recover her HP, and when her HP is full, she will stun enemies in her vicinity for 5 seconds. I don't know why they wanna give her survivability, to be honest. Like, taking with ranged operators isn't an ideal strategy, to be honest. And I would say that this talent is kinda useless unless you have some outstanding strategy. If you do, then more power to you, bro. Now we go over to her skill 1, which lets her select an operator with the highest HP in her range and deals some arts and burn damage to all enemies in the range of the skill. Now this is a very bizarre skill. I could say it's kinda horrible to mastery it, and because it is horrible, so don't waste your resources on this one. Her second skill, her attack range changes, ASPD reduces, attacks 3 enemies at the same time while attacking, loses 5% HP, and sets a field of fire at the target enemies. The enemies who pass through that will be debuffed with speed reduction, as well as take burn damage and arts damage every second. This skill truly is a skill of all time. The DPS on it is probably pretty good, but then the drawback is losing her HP per attack, which is less than ideal. You will need some solid healers to not make her nuke herself, so a bit of a babysitting is required, unfortunately, but I can see some potential in this skill, although it doesn't gain too much bonuses from masteries, so I guess leaving it at mastery 1 is ideal. And now to her bread and butter skill 3. It makes her change attack range increase, her attack speed, and makes her deal AoE damage. She will lose 3% of her HP every second, and the skill has a renewable ammo tied to it. So I guess this is her magnum opus. It makes her a solid AoE caster that nukes herself if you don't heal her. I mean, this is a pretty awesome skill, but the drawbacks are pretty severe. Not gonna lie, overall I guess it's worth mastery 3 if you wanna use her as your main burn damage dealer. It's just that you need to give her attention so that she doesn't knock herself out. Overall, I would say that Blaze is a pretty alright unit, nothing game breaking here, but she will do her job sufficiently. I think she isn't a must pull, but you will probably end up with a copy of her anyways if you are loring for you. And I gotta say that there are just better elemental damage options, so I just wanna say, if she is your waifu, then pull her. Remember that it's just a single player game and I'm just giving my honest opinion on her. So I guess this is all for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my vid. If you did, then subscribe, like, as I wanna reach 1000 subs by the end of the year. It was Rin and I'm signing off. Take care, boys and girls.